everybody to the November 20th meeting of the Hadley Housing and Economic Development Committee. Thank you for being here tonight. I sent the agenda out. I think it's relatively, shouldn't be too long a meeting. But the first order of business, Tony hadn't been able to make a couple of our prior meetings. So Tony, we were hoping you might give us an update on the university, and specifically, I know you wanted to talk about initiatives around economic development that has changed or opened up new opportunity.
Yeah, thanks, Molly. And if I had more time in the last couple of weeks, I would have been able to put together some slides and pop them up on the screen. But I'm going to be reading some stuff. So if I'm looking side-eye, it has nothing to do with my attention to the rest of you. But
hey, Tony?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just realized I forgot something.
Oh,
because we're on Zoom.
Yes.
Okay, so with me this evening, we have Dragon, myself, Molly Keegan, Sean Berry, Crystal Jackson, and Bill Dwyer. Okay, Tony.
Excellent. So you may have heard and saw some press accounts about the announcement by the Chancellor at the community breakfast in early September, or late August, I'm sorry, about that the campus was launching what we're calling an economic development initiative. It is in keeping with a lot of what the Chancellor has been talking about in the last few years about bringing more UMass into the community and more community into UMass. And it also is really in keeping with his background as an economist, but also as somebody who has been an economic development practitioner at other stops along his career route. So over the last couple of years, we have had a task force that has led to this moment where this initiative has launched. And it is in the place of an official office at this time. What it really is a partnership between the Provost's area, research and engagement, and university relations. And our mission and vision, the vision is really to be a trusted driver of economic growth across Western Massachusetts and the Commonwealth. We want to create opportunities, strengthen our communities, and extend the impact of UMass Amherst's expertise, talent, innovation, and partnerships. Our mission is to drive engagements that transform the university's research, talent, and resources into practical solutions and economic impact. So we plan to build more strategic partnerships with community, government, and industry to fuel job creation, innovation, entrepreneurship, and community renewal. And by advancing workforce pathways, supporting small business growth, fostering placemaking, and promoting translational research, we strengthen regional resilience and shared prosperity. So a lot of the things that we have heard over the years, even during my time on this committee when we were first working on bringing in our architecture department to and regional landscape our regional landscape, regional planning department in to help out and discuss possibilities for the Hadley Mall. I'm sorry, my dog is distracting me. I'm going to ask Bruno.
I was just going to say, I had a feeling something was going on.
He's just like right there. He's waiting for me. He's a great guy, but a little distracting at the moment. But even then, I mean, the types of projects that we had, that project at that time was really a one-off. What we're hoping to do with our economic development initiative is really have deeper engagement with our community so that these types of projects are continued on, right, until they have a logical endpoint. It's not just a semester by semester basis. That is just one aspect of what we want to do, and one of the reasons why it's so important that academic affairs is part of our team. Additionally, this initiative is made up of an economic development executive committee, which the chancellor is a part of and is chaired by Mike Malone, our vice chancellor for research and engagement. But that economic development executive committee is our senior leadership group that's charged with setting strategy and making high-level decisions on campus economic development priorities. Also advises the chancellor and provost on policies, investments, and partnerships critical to UMass Amherst's economic impact. We have, along with that, an economic development council that brings together stakeholders from all over campus. One of the things that we have been lacking over the years is a coordinated effort around our economic development activities. As most of you can, guess, most everything that we do has an economic impact. From the students that we graduate that go out into the workforce, we're the biggest workforce generator within the Commonwealth. To the construction that we do on campus, which leads to many jobs and millions of dollars of economic activity. So, but we haven't really always deliberately, thought about that in a deliberate and strategic way, and how our impacts on the community can even be more targeted and more helpful and supplemental to the communities that we serve throughout the Valley, and especially our host communities, Hadley and Amherst. So our Economic Development Council will bring together those key campus stakeholders to coordinate our efforts, surface opportunities, and advise on how the university's research, talent, and resources can best support economic growth at the community, regional, and state levels. And so since we've gotten launched, which has only been really since late July with the executive committee, it was August was our first meeting of our committee. We've had a couple of accomplishments, which had been the formation of our council, bringing together those stakeholders. That was in and of itself, identifying those folks and bringing them to the table has been, a win for all of us, because we're hearing what we're doing. We're able to now better coordinate on some of the things that on campus, and that coordination really matters. We've had a strategic retreat and quick win activation. We've identified 9 quick wins that some of them involve greater transportation access between Springfield and our Amherst campus. We've been working on on things as I think targeted as greater STEM pathways for our students within the area to campus. So a lot of those things, much of what that we're working on with these quick wins have already been happening, but we're surfacing them and amplifying them and making them better. We're beginning to strengthen our external relationships. I think we already have a pretty strong relationship with the town of Hadley, the town of Amherst, but we're expanding those relationships and also growing networks as well. And with all of this, we're integrating with an academic strategy that involves a new position of Vice Provost of Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Creativity. What this new position is going to do on the academic side is infuse innovation and entrepreneurship throughout the entire campus, and really working with all academic areas to really put an emphasis on both those two areas, with the idea of job growth, job creation, and better pathways for our students to be active and engaged, as they go on from when they graduate from campus. So all of this put together is, a really exciting time for us, because I think what it is saying is, to the Chancellor's commitment about being more involved in the community, this is a place where we want to be. I think that the discussions with the town of Hadley about economic development projects and ways in which we might be able to support some of the efforts that you all are doing will have, I think, more lasting impacts than, again, a semester by semester type of approach that we've had in the past. And, I think we look forward to partnerships like this with this committee, with the select board and the town administrator as well, and hit their conversations with the chancellor on surfacing those projects and being able to be supportive. And so, one thing I also want to point out that that the campus has been a part of and has recently received some funding through a tech hub designation is around food science and the future of food. And so the Healey-Driscoll administration just awarded $16.3 million to expand regional innovation. And among those things is, at least right now, for a planning grant of $100,000 on planning a food science tech hub. That is being led by the Western Mass EDC, but UMass, of course, is a a pivotal member of that. You might know about a white paper that the EDC came out with in late 2023 that identified food science as a key industry in which this region can grow. And to me, that is certainly one place that where Hadley can really benefit. We have the #1 food science program in the country, Hadley with abundant farmland, with a lot of technical know-how and a lot of connection to the campus. These are places with this food science tech hub designation and $100,000 that has been given to this effort. That partnership is going to develop a strategy around this. And so, I think that there will be more to talk about in the months and years to come. So I'm happy to answer any questions, and hopefully I can answer them at this time. And, otherwise, I cede the floor back to you, Molly.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Tony? I just have one popped into my head. In terms of kind of deliverables for the group, Tony.
Yeah.
You imagining coming up with like a 3, 5, 10-year plan, or is it just going to be kind of evolutionary? I
think we're moving towards that. So one of the things that we've just done with our committee is we're applying for an innovation and economic prosperity designation through the Association of Public Land Grant Universities. This will help us start to work towards not only mapping our assets, but coming up with the metrics for success that over the course of this process. So we're already assembling a lot of that. This process can go for as long as 3 years through the IEP process. We hope to complete it much sooner than that, maybe within a 1.5 years. And I think at that time, we'll have developed the strategy, that 5 and 10-year strategy that we'd like to, that will be beneficial for this to keep going. We eventually see this as maturing into an office with a staff that is fully funded. Right now, as we are an initiative, those of us in the leadership roles, it's me on the from the university relations side, Carl Rust, who is our assistant vice chancellor for corporate engagement, and Sundar Krishnamurti, who is the vice provost for innovation, entrepreneurship, and creativity. We're all still splitting our duties with other things. And so, over time, we'll be much more effective as an office, but that will take some time to build. And this is the process that's going to get us there.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds exciting, and kind of a long time coming too.
Yeah. We've had long conversations about this. So.
Yeah. Questions, comments for Tony from the group? Okay. Yeah.
I hope we didn't put you to sleep. So.
Well, we'll look forward to hearing about. I mean, I would imagine once you get rolling, there'll be a lot more to talk about.
Plenty more.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Then in terms of other updates, so I just wanted to mention that you're probably aware by now that at the special town meeting we were successful in town meeting voting forward on the grant, the matching grant. That was the $38,000 that we needed to put out to get the $380,000 grant from the state to help with the project that would allow us to connect our sewer pump station to Amherst, right? That whole conversation about us having the ability to send flow to Amherst. And I just wanted to report to the group that after we had the vote, there was a meeting that took place. So we reconvened our 2 DPW directors, Paul Bockelman from Amherst, myself and Mike Mason from Hadley, and I believe the engineer from the town of Amherst DPW. So we had a good conversation. They were very happy to know that that was moving forward, and next steps are between Guilford and Scott McCarthy, our DPW directors, to work with the outside consulting firm to bring that to the next step, which is really the design and feasibility phase of it. So I just wanted to let everybody know that that is now back in motion. Interestingly, the other thing to note is that part of that conversation was a reminder that at one, we also had a memorandum of understanding in place between Hadley and Amherst about water usage. And the meeting predated the tragic fire that took place on Olympia Drive. During the meeting, we were asking about, what's Amherst's water supply issue. And Paul and Guilford indicated that they felt pretty comfortable with it, barring any sort of unforeseen event. And previously, the event had been a prolonged drought that coincided with, high peak water usage at the university. So since then, there really haven't been any instances. And then it wasn't long after who could have predicted that. So, it turned out that Hadley did not need to supply water to Amherst, but I thought it was good to know that there was cooperation between the towns, and our DPW directors were in contact in the wee hours of the morning, and Hadley stood ready to send water if it turned out to be necessary. And luckily, as you read in the paper, I'm sure Amherst's water supply stabilized. But I can't, was it like 1.5 million gallons, Tony, or?
Yeah, it was. It was an astronomical amount. As much, I think, as what they were saying. I can't even remember what they compared it to, but it was several days worth, I think.
Yeah, it was like an entire day's worth of water supply for the entire town and university in a matter of hours. Yeah. But part of the reason I bring it up is sometimes when we're in public and we're talking about these types of things, and people, natural instinct is to say, what are you doing that for? Like, why do you need something like that? And sometimes you need to play nice with your neighbors, because you never know when you do need to be on the receiving or the sending end of help. And I'm always grateful for the fact that, I think Hadley and the towns surrounding us, whether it's in mutual aid and public safety or this sort of situation, that there's cooperation, and I'd love to see more of it, down the line. But anyway, that was more of an anecdote, but I thought, because we do talk about these things, you'd be interested in that piece of it. The other follow-up item I had mentioned at the last meeting that, we've been talking a lot about, wouldn't it be great if we had more data that would help support and frame conversations around economic development, with or without housing in Hadley. And that I had been made aware of a company called Urban 3. I can't remember where they're based out of, somewhere down south, I think. So I did, as a follow-up to our last meeting, reach out to them, and I have a kind of a half an hour courtesy call, if I can put it that way, scheduled with them. I think it's the first week of December, so that they can find out more about what we might be looking for. And part of the ask was going to be if they could, if it makes sense, as a result of that half-hour meeting, if they could pull together some sort of a presentation to let this group know exactly what it is they do and what they might be able to provide. And, obviously, painfully obvious, we have no money laying around. We have even less money than we had before the town meeting. So anything that we do would have to be, grant funded or come from, some other pot. It's not going to come out of the operating budget for sure. But that conversation is moving forward. So And kind of almost daily, I'm reminded of why it would be great to have that, because people talk about their kind of assumption about the impacts of different types of development. You know, well, we don't want that because that's going to, you know, make us increase the operating budget exponentially more than that, you know, whatever opinion you might have. So again, it would be wonderful to have actual data points. So I guess with that, then I'll turn it over to Bill. Do you want to provide an update on what's going on in the world of the planning department right now?
Well, it's been all dual use solar all the time for we have we've permitted five separate dual use solar projects, which are solar projects that are raised enough off the ground for agricultural operations to be carried out below them. So they're sort of all over town. And the Parmar family did file an application for construction of senior housing at the Village Barn Shops. That has not been marked down for a hearing yet because we're waiting for technical peer review before that proceeds. So that'll be something that will probably happen in December or January, might even go into February, but that's potentially a project that could be breaking ground in spring of 26.
That's Berkshire Design, Bill?
Yes, they are the consultant for that.
Okay. Mhm.
But other than that, we don't have any large projects in the pipeline at this point. The senior housing off of North Maple Street at Rocky Hill Road is still going through the Conservation Commission for wetlands delineation. So they have not filed any formal plans with us yet.
Mhm. Do they have any sense of timing on that, or time frame?
No, nothing that they've shared with us.
Mhm. And is that just involve our Conservation Commission, or is that they
I
kick
think it's
that
just
up?
our conservation commission, but it's a big site,
Yeah.
and so it's a big project to delineate the wetlands on. I forget how large it is, but I think it's at least 15 acres. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of delineation to be had. But that will probably be coming in at the beginning of the of 26. That might be a while coming online because it will require building a pressurized sewer line. So some of the sewer flow is going to travel twice the distance because it's going to flow downhill to a low spot near the Amherst line, well, near 116, I should say, and then get pumped back up to the sewer line on North Maple Street, not far from the intersection with Rocky Hill Road. So that's going to be an expensive proposition, but
Mhm.
it is in progress.
Okay. And I'm just thinking about some of the other parcels that had been in play. Anything about the property adjacent to the senior center?
We had an inquiry, again, a developer who's working with Berkshire Design with a smaller scale version of East Street Commons. Um, they are still working on making it fit.
Mhm. Okay.
Excuse me. Molly, you said across from the senior center. Where at?
Next to the senior center,
Yeah.
literally just north of the senior center.
I don't see any land there. Where could this possibly fit?
Yeah, so where
Is it the
your
field?
apartment was? Yeah.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Just where you're, if you went out the back door of your,
Yeah. You mean
right,
in the parking lot?
right across the parking lot,
In the farm area?
yeah, between the houses that are on Middle Street and Weinzick's farm.
Yeah,
Okay.
in that field.
Isn't that somebody's property, a farm? I
Not
always,
if they sell it.
well, yeah. I mean, I thought it was bringing in revenue. I didn't know that it wasn't. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
That's-
actually,
So right there.
yeah, it's
right
been for
there.
sale for a number of years now, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
All righty then.
Okay. And then, again, anecdotally, I've heard that there may be some movement finally with the Mitiera property.
Oh,
So don't know exactly what's happening there yet, but hopefully that will be brought back to life in some way.
No one has approached us about that.
Yeah.
and is there any information on the apartment for the low income and single bedrooms and studios?
Oh, the Econo Lodge.
Yes.
I haven't heard any update on when that, but they had been talking about the spring, kind of late
To break-
spring, that they could start working on that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not aware of any specific contact with the town. I don't know if you are, Bill.
No, we've heard nothing since we did hear that they had their financing.
Mhm.
Yes.
This Valley CDC just brought the former nursing home property on Bridge Road online,
Mm,
so they've been busy.
nice.
Did anybody go to that opening on Tuesday?
No, I wasn't able to make it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had a great aunt who was a resident there many moons ago, so I'm really curious to see the interior at this point.
Mm.
I am assuming that perhaps they are going to extend their contract with Craig's Doors for the winter, although I have no information on that one way or the other, but it just seems at this point it probably makes more sense to keep it open for as a shelter
Yeah,
until they can start work on it.
exactly.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did have an informal conversation with the new director of Craig Stores, and I know that she was actively looking, in the greater area for a longer term solution.
Mhm.
So, okay. Does anybody have anything to bring up tonight or anything that they'd like on a future agenda? Well, just see what comes down the pike.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I just wanted to question, unless Bill tells us differently, based on what he knows, I think last year we skipped the December meeting because it didn't seem like there was an awful lot going on. So unless anybody's, really feels compelled to meet on the third Thursday of December, happy to. But otherwise, maybe we can take a month off and reconvene in January.
Fine with me. I'm going to have
Sounds
the
good to
same
me.
problem. The board meeting I usually chair is on the fourth Thursday of the month, but the fourth Thursday of November and December are busy. There are other things scheduled there. So
Okay. All right. So is that okay? So our next meeting will be the third Thursday in January then?
I'm fine with
Sounds
that.
good.
Okay, great. All right. Well, if nobody has anything else, hope everybody has a wonderful, safe holiday season. And
Yes.
Would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
I make a
Motion to
motion.
adjourn.
I second.
Okay, motion made by Sean, seconded by Crystal. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.